As you can see, the weather is not ideal for any sort of anything. However, tomorrow Germany goes into a massive lockdown and I'm worried I won't be able to do anything. So this is basically my last chance to get out and try and film something. We never miss Thursdays. Like any normal person would on a day like this, I've come to the beach. I don't think I'm going to get much done today. So this episode will have to be really resting on Jonti's varied footage. I just hope he doesn't mess it up and go somewhere boring like a climbing wall or something. I don't think even Jonti's that stupid. It's a gorgeous day in lockdown Germany, so I'm heading to a spot that I pass almost every day to get some jumps in. And there she is. With the next challenge, the strides are much bigger, but they're easier to land on, and I'm not going to sack myself on a rail if I fail. Let's get it. That's me done for today. I hope Jonti's getting up to some good physical activity and that he's not going too mental in lockdown. Surely not.
Okay, so new type of video today. It's quite a strange one. I don't even know if Will will want to edit it for me. He might not be impressed, but I'm going to do it anyway. First one, have a quick look around my house. As with many uni houses, we have rats. This is Alphonse. And this is Matt. Should probably put them away before we do anything else. This is our kitchen. The light was broken. Okay, so by now you might be wondering what this video is actually going to be about. Well, probably you won't be wondering because you've probably seen it in the title or the thumbnail. Anyway, I'm going to be attempting to teach you to juggle 3 balls with just as many tips and tricks as I can think of.
That he's not going too mental in lockdown.
Now, juggling's a lot of fun. You can juggle with fruit, kitchen implements, juggling balls, you can juggle more balls, you can sometimes juggle more balls, and just learn many tricks and have a lot of fun. Anyway, I'm going to start off by learning the 3-ball cascade. And that's what I'm going to be trying to teach you today. It's very simple basic juggling trick. So this is normally the basis of most other juggling. Now a lot of people, when they think of juggling, think of this. I'll see if I can juggle and not stick my tongue out at the same time. But this here is a valid way of juggling. It's just very hard to learn the first time. Okay, so the first step to learning the 3-ball cascade is just starting with 1 ball, and you just practice the motion that the 1 ball goes through. Throwing it from one hand to the other. It always follows the same path in both directions. And you want to start off so the ball's coming to just above your head height, and your hands are sort of roughly shoulder width apart. This can vary. Some people have bigger shoulders or narrower shoulders or whatever, so you don't have to stick to this exactly, and some people just like juggling in different ways. But anyway, yeah, so this is a motion to practice. It's a good step to always go back to if you're struggling with anything else, because it's much easier to learn juggling if you can throw the ball correctly. Once you've got 1 ball, quite comfortable, you can pick up another one, go to 2 balls. The important thing with 2 balls is not to do this, which a lot of people naturally do with 2 balls, because this is starting off as if you're trying to learn doing this. It makes learning this a little bit harder because your muscle memory has been trained to throw 1 ball along the bottom. So anyway, so with 2 balls, the first thing to do is throw 1 ball up and first throw the other one underneath it. So if you watch, the second ball comes just underneath the first one, and then you catch the first one. First one, like that. And you want to try and throw both of the balls exactly the same. I'll start off throwing the ball in your best hand. And once you've got that comfortable, do it the other way around. So just like that. And if you're struggling to get the throws nicely, you can always go back to 1 ball. Back to 2 balls. Okay, once you've got that comfortably, ready to pick up the 3rd ball. The way you hold them, hold 2 balls in your best hand, 1 ball in your worst hand. The first thing to do is just to practice throwing one of the 2 balls out of your best hand and catching it in the other hand. Just to practice getting so you're ready to start easily. The way to do this, you hold the bottom ball sort of like that, top ball like that, and you just throw the top ball. Once you're comfortable with that, you're ready to do again what you did with 2 balls. Just do that and catch, so you end up with 2 balls in your best hand again. When you feel ready, you add in the 3rd throw. 1, 2, 3. It's quite easy. You end up with 2 balls in your worst hand and 1 ball in your best hand. Swap back over, just do this again. 1, 2, 3. If you're struggling, always remember 1 ball again, and then you can always go back to 2 balls as well. So we've got 3 catches from your best hand. Okay, so the next thing to try is switch balls over. Go to 2 balls in your worst hand, 1 in your best hand, and just do exactly the same. 2 balls, and then 1, 2, 3. Practice that, and you'll end up with 2 balls in your best hand. If you struggle throwing the 1 ball out of your second hand, doesn't matter, you can progress from your best hand as well. Best hand, so the next progression is just throwing 4 balls, so you want to do this anyway. Start off with 2 in your best hand again, and just count yourself and try and make that 4th throw. A lot of people find it really hard to go past 3 throws. So one way to do this is to count as you go. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 throws. You end up with 2 balls back in your best hand. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. You won't want to catch like that. That was silly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just catch like that. If you drop them at any time, doesn't matter. Just pick them up and start again. Like that. Very easy to do. I've been practicing a lot over the years. Anyway, so you've got your fourth throw. You can do it maybe from the other hand as well. That's always helpful, just for training both hands to do the same thing. And then you're ready to just keep on adding more throws in. So next, fifth throw. And again, if you're struggling, just count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From the other hand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you're struggling, back to 1 ball or 2 balls, or just going back to throwing 3, and you can always progress. One thing to remember with juggling is that if you're finding it particularly hard, you can often just stop, come back to it the next day, or even just a little bit later, and it'll seem much easier because the muscle memory. You give your muscles time to remember the action of throwing the balls better. And this is also why it's good to just go back to 1 ball. You're just training your muscles to know what they're doing. Okay, so you've got 5 throws. 5 throws. The next step is obviously just 6 throws and carry on. Well, if you think you can do 6 throws, do it. And if you can, just keep going. One thing a lot of people find tricky, or one thing that I found particularly tricky when I started, is that I could make the throws, but when I got past 3 throws, I started throwing the balls forward. So if you look, I throw 1, 2, 3, like that. So what you can do about this is you just make sure that when you're practicing, you have a lot of space in front of you, and it's quite fine to walk forward as you're practicing. That might be a problem, that might not, but it's good ideas to have. Possibly. Maybe not. Who knows? Anyway, so you've got this and there. Within not that long, you should be able to juggle quite easily. If it takes you a while, doesn't matter. Took me ages, far too long. Something to remember when juggling 3 balls is, if you can, we're trying to have the balls so that they're following in a plane that goes in front of you. You don't want the balls to be going too much forwards or backwards if you can manage it. So when you juggle 3 balls, your hands are roughly staying in the same plane, which makes it much easier to control. Once you've learnt this, it's a great base to learn lots of new tricks from. So you can throw 1 ball on the outside. You can throw all of the balls on the outside. You can throw them from the outside in one direction. You can add in 2 ball throws. And anyway, there's many different ways to practice.